It really feels like not that long ago, if you had a great idea for a web app, well, you were facing a pretty steep climb.
Oh, absolutely. Learn to code yourself, which is a huge commitment.
Right. Or find developers, get funding.
Mhm.
There's a whole process.
Exactly. But that whole landscape, it's shifting. And that's what we're really digging into today.
Yeah, we're looking at this tool, Adaptive.ai, and the promise is, well, frankly, kind of staggering.
It is building a fully functional web app from just an idea.
In under a minute. Get this, under a minute.
Yeah. We've seen no-code tools before, obviously. But Adaptive.ai, using AI like this, it feels like a significant step.
Definitely. And for you listening, if you've ever felt that, the tech side of things was the big blocker for your idea.
This could really change the game. Speed, accessibility,
Oh,
it's all there.
totally. So our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear. What is Adaptive.ai, really? How does it pull off this rapid creation?
Uh-huh. What can it actually do?
And why is this potentially such a big deal for, well, anyone with an idea, but zero coding background?
Let's get into it.
Okay, let's unpack it. So fundamentally, what are we talking about with Adaptive.ai?
Okay, so at its heart, Adaptive.ai is a no-code platform. That means building stuff without writing, traditional computer code.
Right, the no-code part we've seen. But the AI.
That's the key differentiator here. It uses artificial intelligence quite heavily, and it's really aimed at people with the ideas, but not the coding skills.
Like entrepreneurs, maybe content creators.
Yeah, exactly. Or just, anyone who thinks, hey, an app could solve this problem I have.
And the big promise is just describing
Yeah.
it. You just type it out.
That's the core concept. You describe your vision in plain text, and the platform builds it.
So it's as simple as me saying, like, I want an app that shows local dog parks. Is that the kind of input?
That's basically how you start. Yes, you give it that text description, and then its algorithms, well, they get to work analyzing it.
Okay. But before we get into the how, what about the what? What features does this thing actually offer?
Good point. Let's talk capabilities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that less than a minute claim is bold. What does that actually mean in reality?
Well, the speed is the striking part. It analyzes your text and boom, generates a functional web app.
Functional like clickable, working.
Yes, a working application, not just like a mock-up. And importantly, these aren't just slapped together. They come with a modern look and feel.
That's huge. User interface matters. Nobody wants an app that looks like it's from, 2005.
Precisely. And another big piece, you mentioned monetization earlier.
Right. How does that fit in? Can you actually, make money with these apps?
Yeah, they've built in features specifically for that. So you could integrate online payments, maybe set up subscriptions for users, that kind of thing.
Okay, so it looks good, potentially makes money.
Yeah.
What about smarter features? You mentioned AI integration inside the apps.
Yes, that's another layer. So the apps you build can also use AI.
How so? Like a chatbot.
Exactly like a chatbot for support, or maybe tools for summarizing text automatically or analyzing what users are posting within your app. Depends on what you need it to do.
And all this is still no code. You don't suddenly have to start coding to add the AI bits.
Correct. Still within that no-code environment. Which brings us back to how it all works, doesn't it?
It does. It still sounds a bit like magic.
Yeah.
Taking my sentence about dog parks and turning it into an app. How? What's the process?
Okay, so process-wise, it's pretty streamlined. First, like we said, you type in your idea.
The description.
Right. And, while it can work with something basic, the more detail you give, the better the AI understands what you're after.
Makes sense. Garbage in, garbage out, kind of.
Sort of, yeah. Then Adaptive.ai uses its advanced algorithms. Think of them as really smart pattern finders in language to analyze that text. It's trying to figure out the core functions, the data needed, how people should interact with it.
Got it. It's interpreting the request.
Exactly. And based on that interpretation, then it generates the app super quickly with the features it thinks you wanted.
But what if it gets it wrong? Or I want to change something.
Ah, good question. It's not like it spits it out and you're stuck. The platform gives you tools to customize it further.
Okay, that's crucial. So you can tweak the design, add things.
Yeah, refine it, improve the user experience, make it exactly how you want it. It's a starting point, but a very advanced one.
Right, not a black box then. That makes a big difference. So, okay, someone's interested, they want to try it. What's the cost? Is this, super expensive?
They actually have a few options. There's a free plan to start.
Free is good. What does that get you?
Lets you build up to 11 apps, which is pretty generous, and you get 20 AI requests per week.
What are those AI requests? for the built-in AI stuff.
Yeah, likely for using things like the chatbot function or text summarization within the apps you build. The free plan seems like a solid way to just test the waters.
Okay, and if you need more.
Then there's the creator plan. That's $20 a month. It bumps you up to 30 applications and 200 AI requests per week.
All right, still pretty accessible.
Seems like it. And they do mention a pro plan too for, more professional or heavy users, probably with higher limits and maybe more advanced features, but the details on that one were a bit scarcer in what we looked at.
Gotcha. So options for different levels. Okay, let's pull it all together. Why would someone choose Adaptive.ai? Maybe instead of learning Python or using, I don't know, another no-code tool, what really makes it stand out?
I think it boils down to a few key things. Speed is obviously a huge one.
The under a minute thing.
Yeah. Going from idea to something tangible that quickly, it just changes the dynamic. Then there's the ease of use. No tech background needed, truly.
Just need the idea and the ability to describe it.
Right. Then there's the flexibility the AI offers, it seems, capable of creating quite a range of apps, not just one specific type.
Like the chatbots you mentioned, or maybe even learning platforms.
Potentially, yes. And finally, that built-in support for monetization is a big plus if your idea has a business angle.
Okay, so let's connect this back to you, the listener. Imagine you have that nagging idea. A little tool for work, maybe a fun community app.
Something you've thought about but figured, that's too complicated. I'd need to hire someone.
Exactly. That feeling of it being this massive, complex project.
Yeah.
Adaptive.ai seems to just lower that barrier significantly.
It really does. Makes that first step, getting something real out there to look at, incredibly fast. It could almost feel effortless compared to the old ways.
It could potentially remove that overwhelm that stops so many ideas.
Absolutely. And thinking bigger picture, this kind of tech could really democratize building software, couldn't it?
How do you mean?
Well, it puts the power to create directly into the hands of the people with the ideas, not just the ones who spent years learning code.
Yeah, that's a powerful thought. Imagine the innovation that could unlock if more people can just build their ideas easily.
It's an interesting prospect. Faster prototyping, maybe more niche solutions. Who knows?
It definitely feels like a potential inflection point for web app creation. Okay, so let's recap this deep dive on Adaptive.ai.
Let's do it.
It's an AI-driven, no-code platform. Lets you describe an app idea in text.
And it generates a functional version, often, incredibly, in under a minute.
Comes with modern UI, ways to make money, even AI features built in.
And the kicker, no coding required from your end.
That's the essence of it, a really different approach.
It is. And, thinking about this for you listening, consider what problems you see or what ideas you've had on the back burner. With a tool like this potentially removing that massive hurdle of coding, well, what might you actually build now? What app idea could you explore, knowing it might be just a description away?
That's definitely the question to ponder. And for those of you whose interest is piqued who want to see this in action, naturally there are resources online.
Yeah, you can check out their website, see demos, get a feel for it yourself.
Worth exploring if you got that itch to create something digital.